Okay, so let's talk about our kids' emotions. It can feel like a lot, right? Just this big, complicated world of feelings. But what if I told you there's a simple, really powerful way to help you and your child find some calm in all that chaos? Let's dive in. Oh, we've all been there. You know the scene. The meltdown in the middle of the grocery store, the battle over getting dressed in the morning, the tears at bedtime. It can feel like you're caught in a hurricane and you've got no map. And look, that's a totally normal part of being a parent, but wow, is it exhausting.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Imagine having a map, a simple, color-coded one that gives you and your child a shared language for all those feelings, a way to turn that emotional chaos into clear, simple communication.
So let's get right into it. The system is called the Zones of Regulation. And what it does, really, is take all those jumbled, complex feelings and sort them into 4 simple, easy-to-understand colored zones. Now, the big idea here, the absolute heart of this whole thing, is that all feelings are okay. This isn't about trying to stop your kid from feeling sad or getting excited. No, it's about giving them the awareness and, more importantly, the tools to manage how they respond to those feelings. It's about self-regulation, not shutting feelings down.
To make this super easy to get, the whole framework uses an analogy that, we all see every single day. Just think of these zones like traffic signs for your feelings.
First up, we've got the blue zone. This is basically your body's rest area. It's that low-energy state where everything's kind of moving in slow motion, both in your body and in your head.
So the blue zone, this is where you find feelings like being sad, tired, sick, or just plain bored. You'll see it in your kid's body. Their arms and legs might feel heavy, they're moving really slowly, they might say their head feels foggy. And the big insight for us as parents? The blue zone isn't some problem we have to fix. It's just a signal that it's time to rest and refuel. All right, now for the green zone. Think of this one like a green traffic light. This is that calm, alert state where we feel happy, focused, and just ready to go, ready to engage with whatever's in front of us. And here's the really important part. The green zone is where the best learning happens. When a child is here, they feel content, proud, their body is relaxed, and their brain is totally engaged and ready to soak up new stuff. This is our good-to-go zone. Next up is the yellow zone. And just like a yellow traffic light, this is a sign to slow down, to proceed with a little bit of caution. Our energy is up, and we're starting to lose some of that focus and control. The yellow zone covers a huge range of emotions. It could be frustration, worry, but it could also be pure silliness or excitement. The key is that heightened energy. You can see it in their body. They get wiggly, their heart's beating faster, their thoughts are racing. The yellow zone is our cue to check in before things get any bigger. And finally, we have the red zone. This is our big red stop sign. It's a state of extremely high energy and really intense, overwhelming feelings. This is where we can feel totally out of control. The feelings here are huge. We're talking intense anger, terror, panic, but it can also be extreme elation, like pure, out-of-control joy. The body is just in overdrive, heart racing, skin's flushed, muscles are tense. At this point, the thinking brain has pretty much checked out. So the number one focus has to be safety. Red means safety first. Logic can wait. And this right here, this might be the most important part of this entire framework. I'm going to say it again because it's that crucial. There are no bad zones. The goal is not to force our kids to be in the green zone 24/7. That's impossible. The goal is to help them recognize what zone they're in and then figure out what to do about it. Okay, so once a child can say, "Hey, I'm in the yellow zone. What's next?" Well, that's where the idea of a toolbox comes in. This is all about finding real, practical things we can do to help manage the energy in each zone. This chart gives you some great ideas to start with, but what's really cool is the why behind them. See how the tools match the energy level? When you're in the low-energy blue zone, the idea is to gently bring that energy up. Not snap out of it, but more like, let's get a little fuel, like grabbing a drink of water or doing a few stretches. For that high-energy yellow zone, you want to bring that frantic energy down a bit, give it somewhere to go. That's why deep breathing or pushing against a wall works. It's a focusing task. And for the red zone, it's all about de-escalation. The brain's not ready for anything complicated, so we focus on finding a safe, quiet spot and letting the nervous system calm down. Honestly, the best tools are the ones you and your child pick out together. All right, this all sounds great, but how do you actually make it work in the real world, in your home, with your family? Let's break down a few simple, powerful steps. First, try to create a check-in culture. Instead of asking, "Why are you doing that?" try a simple, curious, "Hey, what zone are you in right now?" It completely changes the conversation. Second, model it yourself. Talk about your zones. And third, when things are calm, sit down together and build your own family toolbox of strategies that work for everybody.
I mean, just look at the power of this simple language shift. We all say, calm down, but it almost never works, right? It usually makes things worse. But when you shift to being a problem-solving partner, I see you're in the yellow zone. What tool can we use? You're validating their feeling and offering to help. It is a total game changer.
This right here, this might be the most powerful tool you have. Modeling. When you own your feelings, name your own zone, and say what you need to do, I am in the red zone, I need a moment, you are teaching your child more than any chart ever could. You're showing them that, yep, adults have big feelings too, and we also have to work to manage them.
So as we start to wrap up, it is so important to have the right expectations. This isn't some magic wand that's going to make all tantrums disappear overnight.
And this is the thing you gotta remember. Self-regulation is a skill they have to learn. It's just like learning to read or ride a bike. It takes years of practice, tons of patience, and their brains have to develop. The goal isn't perfection. It's just to help your child understand themselves a little better and over time, build the strength to handle all the ups and downs that life throws at them.
So let's end with a quick check-in for you. As you finish listening to this, just take a second and ask yourself, what zone am I in right now? Because just noticing your own state, that's the very first step in this journey for your entire family.